Yes guys, welcome from me, Championship Manager 0102. Something new for you today. Now I'm hopeful that this is going to be the first of many parts. This is my heads up game with Garry Johnston. Now me and Garry, we had a heads up game about two years ago or so. And like this one, it was also ODB, and we got through about 10 seasons, and I'm not really sure why it fizzled out, in all honesty. This is an ODB. Now let me just firstly point out, Garry is the host. Now on Garry's ODB setup, he doesn't have the contract protection feature. He disabled it, whereas on my ODB version I do. So me restoring the game, the very first thing it says, and you can see there, it's the 19th of May, it's the end of season 1. It says that they're being introduced, but so just ignore that. So a few spoilers already there. You can see who one of us is. One of us is Ajax, one of us is AC Milan. The objective realistically is to try and go around the countries and win the title. This is exactly what we did a few years ago. I think I went around to about 3 or 4 countries, Garry went to a couple. So basically, if I just show you the selected leagues, these are our available options. England, Germany, Holland, Italy, Portugal, Spain and Scotland. If you're wondering why Scotland, Garry's Scottish, because I tend to always select the main 6 leagues, which he's selected the main 6 leagues and Scotland. Sometimes I might put France I would put in personally, but I don't really like the French league, and Belgium maybe. So the plan is going to be is to move on. So season 1, I'm Ajax. You can see Ajax won the cup. So great result there for Ajax and my boys. Now Ajax, it's going to give me a spoiler as soon as I go onto the squad. So PSV led the league all season long, and right at the final knock-ins we took advantage. They lost their last couple of games in their last 3 games. There you see they lost at home to Feyenoord and then lost away to Ferenveen. And in the last game of the season we were top. We just had to win our last league game. We held firm to clinch the title and the double. As I'll just show you very quickly, we also had a very good Champions League run. We actually beat Roma 2-0 along the way of the Champions League, but we did get knocked out to Lazio in the quarter-finals. We beat Roma in the group stages, there it is, 2-0. That was quite a memorable victory, to be honest with you. But yeah, we got knocked out of the Champions League in the group stages, but in the quarter-finals, but we were very lucky to advance to the quarter-finals, because had Arsenal had won that last game against Real Mallorca, which they should have, we could have probably would have been eliminated with 12 points, but nevertheless. So in terms of our squad, there's only a couple of rules that we've got in place for our game. Same rules that we had several years ago, same rules that we have in any network game, and that is must be a non-wib-wob, must have 3 at the back at least, and must have 2 white players, so no centralised tactics. As you can see, that fits into that completely. And also, the only player that is a no-no is Toe Madeira. He's not deemed a real player, so he's a no-no. Everyone else is available to purchase, and as you can see, it took me a while, but I did end up getting the legendary Maximus Sigalko. The problem is, right, with me as Ajax, Garry as AC Milan, there's a complete difference in calibre who we can get. I mean, we both went for Mark Kerr, and Garry got him. That being said, he didn't go for Sigalko. To be fair to Garry, he went for a few of the unusual go-to players, and some of them are absolutely brilliant. More about that in a moment. But some of my players, Arcadius Back, I love Arcadius Back. He's always one of my go-to players. Nikiforenko. Now this one, Garry had never heard of him. He'd never played him. Jesus Arolado, he has been my standout player. 4.4 million pounds, but look at that, 17 assists in 52 stars. He has been absolutely brilliant for me. And obviously Ajax do start with a very good setup anyway, in terms of their youngsters wise. Karagunas, one of my go-to players, and Chiotis in goal, wherever he's disappeared to. There he is. I always feel Chiotis looks better than what he actually is, but a very good season from him. I'll tell you who else looks the bollocks. It's Uribe West. So we are all set up for season 2 with a league triumph and a cup triumph. Let's go now then to Garry. Garry went the distance. It's the final game of the season also for Garry, which was absolutely bizarre. It was in his own hands as well. He just had to win his game against Lecce because he knew if Roma won and Garry drew or lost, he'd have lost the title, but he held firm. And a very, very successful year, because let's be honest, right, the Italian division is probably one of the most difficult divisions to win the title in season 1. There's a lot of teams that will battle. You know, like in Spain you've got Real Madrid, Barcelona. In England you've got Man U, Arsenal. In Scotland you've got Celtic, Rangers. But in Italy there's a lot of teams that will contest it. But there's always one team that sticks out to anybody who knows ODB, and that is Roma. But he did very, very well to stand firm. Roma did knock him out of the league, out of the Italian Cup over 2 legs, but he did have a successful European campaign where he beat Zaragoza in the final of the UEFA Cup. So a very, very good season. 2 trophies for him, 2 trophies for me, and he did very well. He does play a similar sort of formation to myself. He does alter his team instructions a little bit different to me. So a very, very good season indeed. So just if I bring you back to where he got knocked out, and you'll spot it, 'cause it's typical CM. Whenever you get someone in on a 2-legged match, you always play them in the league sandwiched in between. So there you see in December, he played Roma 3 times in a row, and he was knocked out of the cup. So we are all ready for season 2. Now, no spoilers here, because we are actually well into season 2, if the truth be told. Albeit it says 19th of May there, we're actually at January the following year. We had a monster session on Saturday, and I'm not going to give no spoilers away, you'll just have to fucking wait on that. Will tell you this, Roma did win the Champions League. Because I think we saved it before the Champions League actually. Let's just have a look. Yeah, Roma do win the Champions League. Because Lazio met them in the final, and as you can probably see there, Lazio won the cup. So Lazio certainly a force, and yeah, that's that. Now the question is like our last game, will we remain at our clubs, particularly after winning the title, particularly after winning the domestic double, or will we, Garry, will we move on? Who knows? You probably all know that at the end of season 1, jobs come available. You just never know. I'm not giving a fuck all the way, so you'll have to wait. I will say this though, right? Garry has got some monster players coming. Agahoa is a great player, and that is a real bargain. Rio Ferdinand is arriving from Leeds. That Daniel Bonero. Now, he does get Bonero because I went for Bonero. I didn't realise it wasn't confirmed. He has a release clause, I think it is. Yeah. And he's a great player, and he's really got some monsters. Now that's nothing compared to some of the other players that he picks up, I should point out. It goes back to what I said about the financial perspective. It's a lot different at AC Milan, there's no doubt about that. But nevertheless, you take nothing away from Garry. He's done an absolute fabulous job, and you can see how he's got. I mean, Shevchenko, what a player, absolute monster. He did say to me he wasn't bothered about purchasing. Sigalko because he has Shevchenko. So, you know, which was a good thing for me in all honesty. So that is where we're at then. End of season 1, the ODB challenge, heads-up challenge. And season 2, like I say, we are well into season 2. So stay tuned for part 2, and I will come back to you with where we are at. Until next time, guys, take it easy from me.